Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Mama June Lauryn Efird's new man has been married 3 times. Lauryn "Pumpkin" Efird has already started moving on from her marriage with Josh Efird. The Mama June star has started dating a new man, Darren Kitchens. Now, more has come to light about Darren's previous relationships. Here's what has been revealed. Darren Kitchens has been married 3 times before. Like Pumpkin, Darren is a divorcee. In fact, he's been married 3 times, to the same woman. Darren Kitchens has reportedly filed for divorce from his first wife, Shannon, 3 times between 2020 and 2024. One of their breakups seems to be in relation to Darren having an affair with another woman. In 2022, Darren was looking forward to welcoming a baby with another woman, Lauryn Reynolds. They were engaged for some time, but they never got married. Afterward, Darren got back together with Shannon. However, the couple filed for divorce once again this year, leading up to the news of his budding relationship with Lauryn Efird. The Mama June star first introduced Darren to fans on Facebook earlier this month. Shortly after the news of her divorce from Josh Efird was made public, she hard-launched her new beau. She posed in a photo next to Darren before they went to a Zach Bryan concert. The photo showed Pumpkin in tight blue jeans and a see-through top. Darren sported a color-coordinated outfit with a black collared shirt and blue jeans. On August 2, Pumpkin filed for divorce from her husband Josh. They were married for 6 years before the split. Court documents state that the marriage was irretrievably broken. The former couple was able to come to an agreement regarding the divorce settlement. Neither party will have to pay alimony, and Pumpkin will gain ownership of their rent-to-own home in Georgia. Josh will have 60 days to remove his belongings from the property. They will share joint custody of their 4 kids. Their agreement also states that they will split all of the children's medical expenses and school activities. Both Mama June stars have started to move on. Lauryn and Josh share 4 children together: Ella, 7, Bentley, 4, and twins Silas and Stella, 2. The couple was also granted custody of Pumpkin's youngest sister, Alana Thompson, aka Honey Boo Boo, in 2022. Mama June fans were shocked to hear about Lauryn and Josh's divorce. On TV, they seemed to put up a united front against Mama June Shannon, and they've been shown dealing with Anna Cardwell's passing together. With everything moving so fast, many people have questioned whether or not it may be a stunt for television. However, it seems both Pumpkin and Josh have already started to move on. Josh is also dating again. He has been seeing a woman named Keely, but he has been less vocal about his new relationship. Lauryn "Pumpkin" Efird had always been the quiet, grounded one in the Shannon family, but lately her life had taken a wild turn. After her dramatic split from Josh Efird, the world couldn't stop buzzing about the surprising twist in her love life. Her new man, Robert, who came with quite a past. He had been married 3 times before. The story of Lauryn and Robert started like many modern romances, with a chance meeting through mutual friends. Lauryn wasn't looking for love after her split from Josh. The scars of that relationship were still fresh, and the idea of jumping into another one was the furthest thing from her mind. But Robert was different. He was charming, attentive, and had a maturity that Lauryn found refreshing. At 28, he was a few years older than her and seemed to have a level of experience that Lauryn, despite her tumultuous life, found comforting. They began spending time together, cautiously at first. Lauryn was determined to protect her heart, especially for the sake of her children, but as they got to know each other, Lauryn started to see a different side of Robert. He was funny, considerate, and shared her deep love for family. However, just as things started to get serious, Lauryn stumbled upon the one piece of information that made her pause. Robert had been married 3 times before. For most people, 3 marriages would be a massive red flag. It certainly was for Lauryn. She had her share of drama with Josh, and the last thing she needed was to dive into a relationship with someone who had a history of failed marriages. But Robert didn't shy away from his past. In fact, he brought it up himself during one of their long, late-night conversations. "I know my past is a lot to take in," Robert admitted, his voice steady but tinged with regret. "I've made mistakes, Lauryn. A lot of them. But I've learned from every one of them. I'm not proud of my divorces, but I don't want to hide from them either." Lauryn appreciated his honesty, but she wasn't sure if it was enough. She had to think about her kids, about how this would affect them. She knew all too well the impact of a broken home, and she didn't want to put her children through more instability. Still, there was something about Robert that made her want to believe in him. To understand his past better, Lauryn decided to dig deeper. She wasn't one to make decisions lightly, and she needed to know exactly what had gone wrong in Robert's previous marriages. What she found was a man who had faced his own share of hardships and heartache. His first marriage had been a young love that burned out too quickly, ending in an amicable split. The second was a whirlwind romance that didn't survive the pressures of a demanding career and long-distance struggles. The third, the most recent, had been a painful one, ending after a long battle with infertility that left both parties devastated and unable to move forward together. Robert's openness about these relationships impressed Lauryn. He wasn't trying to make excuses or play the victim. He owned his part in each failed marriage and had clearly spent a lot of time reflecting on his past mistakes. This willingness to be vulnerable resonated with Lauryn, who had always valued honesty above all else. As their relationship deepened, Lauryn noticed how Robert interacted with her children. He was patient, kind, and genuinely interested in their lives. Her kids, who had been wary of new people in the wake of her split with Josh, warmed up to Robert quicker than she expected. He wasn't trying to replace their father. He was just trying to be a positive presence in their lives. Still, Lauryn couldn't shake her fears entirely. What if she was making a mistake? What if history repeated itself, and she ended up in another failed relationship? The doubts gnawed at her, even as she found herself falling more and more for Robert. It wasn't until she had a heart-to-heart with her mother, June Shannon, that Lauryn began to find some clarity. Mama June had been through more than her fair share of relationships, and while she wasn't always the best at giving advice, she knew a thing or two about following your heart. "Look, Pumpkin," June said one evening over coffee, "you've got to do what's right for you and those babies. But don't let fear keep you from being happy. You've seen what I've been through, and yeah, it's been a mess. But you're not me. You've always had a good head on your shoulders, and you know when something's real." June's words echoed in Lauryn's mind for days after. She knew she had to make a choice. She could walk away from Robert, avoid the risk of another failed relationship, or she could take a leap of faith. Robert wasn't perfect, but who was? He had made mistakes, but he had learned from them, and Lauryn could see he was committed to making things work. In the end, Lauryn decided to take that leap. She wasn't blind to the risks, but she also knew that life was too short to live in fear. She had been through enough to know that love wasn't always easy, but it was worth fighting for. Robert might have been married 3 times before, but Lauryn was determined to make sure that if they walked down the aisle one day, it would be the last time for both of them. Their journey together wasn't going to be easy, and Lauryn knew there would be challenges ahead. But she also knew that she wasn't the same person she was before. She was stronger, wiser, and more determined to create a life of stability and love for herself and her children. As for Robert, he was ready to prove that he had learned from his past and was committed to building a future with Lauryn. Together, they knew they had a lot to navigate, but they were ready to face it head-on, with open hearts and a shared belief in the power of second or fourth chances.